Greetings, Elder Blacklight. Now the name of this video here is going to be called Control Yourself. Stop living for the city. Now, if you're following the video that I last posted called The Rat Race is Population Control. Study as two of those, part 1 and part 2. Study those. Now you see a design of Detroit City. If you learned anything from the video, The Rat Race, you'll see how the designs are made for the control of the population, the mental control. See, a plan, when you go to city planning, and the word plan also means a theory or hypothesis. It's an experimental project, and all designs of cities are to control the population. Now here in Detroit, the people have been programmed to see Detroit as an industrial city, manufacturing city. And since then, the manufacturers have kind of relocated, even though they got some branches here in Detroit. They kind of relocated. And plus they done changed up their operation, the technique. They done changed it up. The operation technique is changed. So when we had the riots in Detroit back in '67 was the last major one. The manufacturers and retailers and wholesalers went to the suburbs and withdrew the money circulation because black people were working in the factories, and they started shutting factories down. And so black people, you know, they was building up their own businesses, and but it has the business that black people were building up declined from the early days, Paradise Valley and Black Bottom. But we were still doing pretty good. We had black auto dealers here, and you know, we had some black operations going pretty strong, yeah. But then when the riots came, they withdrew their money, so the black people couldn't get no loans, they couldn't get no nothing. So they just gonna starve the people out. Now they just not coming back, you know. But see, when Mayor Young was mayor, they call it the Renaissance, because Mayor Young was so slick and so smooth with his skills, leadership skills, that he had money coming from white resources to the city. And he did not bow to these white powers because he realized that they needed Detroit's riverfront. You know, they needed the riverfront and the waterways, and he used that to attract different white monies to the city. And so he knew how to run the city. The city was majority black. But then you had these Boulay brothers and sisters, these Negro-minded blacks who didn't understand the science of being self-reliant. So in those days, 67, after the 67, we say, I say in the late 60s, 69, and in the 70s, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was still alive, and Berry Gordy was still here, and then they moved in. Because see, Berry Gordy had a building downtown, a major building downtown, but he was developing that building. Then the gangsters moved in on him. You know, when the gangsters moved in on him, that's when Berry Gordy got the big head. See, he started misusing his artists, and he got greedy for more money. That's why he got investors in Motown now, but he got all the publishing, so he's still sitting pretty good, you know. But he didn't grow Motown anymore, because he could have grew Motown into a movie industry. But he shook hands with the devil. You see, and that's what's happening when you do that. Never trust a pale face and a smile. Now, after the messenger, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, after he made his transition, the mafia persuaded these Boulay brothers and sisters to play ball with them, and all the major stores like Hudson and Crowley's and all them moved away from downtown. Now, this right here, video right here, is going to illustrate, it's going to be setting up how to regain control, because we still don't have control, especially now that Kwame Kilpatrick is in the joint. We don't have no black leadership in the mayoral office. The Caucasian is going to be true to himself before he true to you. There's one thing black people don't understand, you know, especially here in Detroit. But the population is still the black population is still the majority. The majority really rules in a democratic setting. But that don't mean you have to vote Democrat. That means that you're dominant in your occupation. And when you're dominant in your occupation, you control the setting. You control the city. If you rely on your own black powers and your black skills, you could, you know, you got to go to city planning. They got an office called city planning. And then they got the Detroit Chamber of Commerce. Now we're going to explore these two spots to tell you how to dominate that. And then we're going to also explore in videos to come the assets that we got. You know, we got an urban food growing industry here in these vacant lots. We got to know how to protect them, and we got to know not to partner up with the Caucasian, which some of y'all already did. You know, y'all partner up with the ones that's going to end up controlling that operation. So it's too late for y'all, but those of us who are thinking about the food industry, the urban food industry here in Detroit, don't keep partnering up with these people, because they're going to end up tricking you like they always been doing. Now, the architect of a city is very important, as you will see if you haven't seen it yet in the video I dropped called Rat Race is Population Control. So this is just an introduction to city planning and the Chamber of Congress. You're going to see who's running the Chamber of Congress and who's over the city planning. And then we're going to attack those two operations and dominate them if you get this message. Now, block clubs got a lot of power if you know how to use them. We also going to be speaking on how to use your block club effectively. This is Black Light saying tune up, stay tuned.